12 straight wins. They won by an average of 26.5 points. Here we go. This Final Four matchup between UCLA and Texas is underway.
See Texas starting out in man here.
Finally, Neepkins with the shot clock all the way whittled down to 10. Gianna Neepkins looking for a lane. The pull-up rims off. And the rebound secured by Brea Cunningham.
Vic Schaefer in his practice yesterday continued to emphasize to his team the importance of the defensive board.
Booker too smooth.
Because UCLA this season, how about Madison Booker? Coach Schaefer wants her hunting shots, gets her the first look of the game.
We asked Corey Close, how are you going to deal with the physicality of Texas? He said, I'm going to try and get our team mad, get them fired up, and make sure they know you're going to have to play through some contact. As Rice can't hit the three. Here's Booker off the glass. Harmon lobbing it in. Carlton the deep. Lost the handle. Neepkins back ironing off. Long rebound. Neepkins comes down with it and lays it in. Gianna Neepkins, the Utah grad transfer. One of just 8 active Division I.
Rare 50, 40, 90 player in Norman's college game.
Here's Lee. Lee got bumped, unable to flip it in. Betts the rebound. Rice bounces in. Gabriela Jaquez out to Betts. A little mini. It's good.
Really nice way to get Betts the look. You have Jaquez post up, and then she dribbles over and gives Betts the little mid-range. You would expect to be the reverse in terms of which of your players you have on the block.
Houston for Texas. Carlton got bumped. Stood up by Neepkins. Flips it out. Lee 7 to shoot. Trying to create with 4. Lee on the drive. Unable to bank it in. Jordan Lee, who was excellent first 3 games of the tournament, was just
going to go one-on-one late in the shot clock.
Neepkins a deep one. Is good. What a start for the Bruins.
One of the things Corey Close told us yesterday is we have to hit first, and then we have to be able to go punch for punch. Great start for UCLA.
And some unfamiliar territory for Texas. They have trailed for just 8 minutes and 44 seconds total during their 12-game winning streak as Harmon buries the mid-range.
You see that action consistently. Sis does here, just trying to make even inbounding the basketball a challenge.
They have forced by far and away the most 5-second violations in the country this season. Jaquez on the attack. Contested by Booker. Neepkins comes away with it. Ledger Walker loses it out of bounds. And it will be Tech 43% on the season, 43% in her career. Remember, a couple years ago, under Lynn Roberts, Utah looked like a potential Final Four team, and then Neepkins went down with a knee injury. He's been a key piece for UCLA this year. Here's Booker, fading, doesn't hit that one. Betts the box outs through traffic. Betts guarded by Cunningham. A crowd comes. Betts unfazed.
Lauren Betts just handled that post up beautifully. Not only did the double team come, there was physicality there, and she had the fade away, but did not shy away, and still able to get it to drop.
Lee looking in. Dugalich ahead to Jaquez. That looked like a clear foul on Booker, was not called.
There's been a lot of physicality here early in this game. That's what you expect from a very tough Texas team.
Sid Berrien off the bench guarding Rice. Neepkins turning, taking, no. We do a game long. Booker will fire. Rims off. Long rebound, Neepkins. She's been a factor on the glass as well. Too tall on the pass there for Betts, and a timeout on the floor. 4:29 to go in the first. Good start here for Lauren Betts and the Bruins.
Certainly Lauren Betts showing her.
One of the top recruits in the nation this past year. Here's Lee. Lee cradling, turning, taking, missing. Sid Berry able to yank it away, but UCLA hangs on. Just get the feeling
Vic Schaefer is very intentional coming out of timeout, so certainly that play was drawn up to get Lee a look.
Betts, deep catch, little hook, Can't pop it in. Gets it back. Short. Rebound Cunningham. Uh-oh. Cunningham goes down. Grabbing out that left leg. Now goes back to her feet. Not finished. Texas experienced the Final Four last year. Looking for a title this year. Cunningham, no.
Texas continuing to run the dribble drive offense. We saw an earlier possession involving Lauren Betts as a defender in a pick and roll. She plays drop coverage. You wonder if Vic Schaefer will go to that with Madison Booker as the ball handler.
That's going to be a foul on Sidbury. Hey, I'm not going to lie, guys. This TV stuff you do is hard.
I think it's being a stud bud is probably hard.
Probably pretty difficult too. But you know, instead we told Natishas, that's right, make sure to tell everyone exactly that who consumes the broadcast. Here's Ledger Walker. Duga reach. Duga, yes! Connecting from downtown. Duke in the Elite Eight. And now UCLA has handed Texas their largest deficit of the tourney. Just 4 points thus far for the Longhorns. Booker in the corner of three, way off the mark. Backdoor, Hodges lays it in. How about this start for the Bruins? On the glass. UCLA on a 7-0 run. Look at that. My goodness. I don't know that you could come out of a timeout any worse than that. The full first quarter. You already had Taya Sidbury come in. Now you have Leah Crump, the freshman, as well as Ashton Judd into the game. And a foul there is going to go against Texas. And they will call it.
Edge out hard on the on-ball screen and just didn't get there quickly enough.
There's Kyla Oldacre, who had 12 points, 11 rebounds in the Elite Eight. She is a huge difference maker off the bench for Texas. Hodges having trouble getting it in. Finally, finds Dugalich. Hodges trying to save it, could not. Texas basketball. And Madison Booker all emphasized to us before the Sweet 16. They said, we know Crump's minutes haven't been up, but at some point in this tournament, she is going to make a huge difference for us.
She has struggled so far, only 3 of 14 during the NCAA tournament, but certainly with her size and ability to hit from deep can be impactful.
Oldacre sneaks in for two.
He's going against a defender who is bigger and longer than she.
1:20 to go in this first. Booker takes it away. Possession arrow belongs with Texas. The NCAA Men's Championship Final Four begins tomorrow. See the torch for Stores now after South Carolina upset the Huskies in the first one tonight. Judd putting it on the deck, turning the corner, gets denied. Dugalich with a little stare after the Booker finds Oldacre, center of the lane, didn't have the handle of it. Poked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Texas.
We continue to see the course of this tournament, Ryan.
Well, and Vic Schaefer has consistently said to us, the main reason why he's so much more confident this year, he said, we can score, y'all. He said, we used to have to eke out wins in the 60s and 50s, but they have not been able to score in this first quarter against UCLA. Booker on the drive, can't whip it in. She's now 1 of 5 from the... Rice knocked out of bounds. No, it'll stay in. Rice gets it back, now throws it away. From passage for Texas. 15. This has missed 8 of its last 9 shots. They're just 3 of 13 in the quarter. Harmon gets fouled by Ledger Walker.
I would imagine Corey feels frustrated because there's been a lot of physicality throughout this first quarter that hasn't been called. And that's what happened.
That was UCLA's only loss of the season. Booker gets it in, gets it back. Elevates. Can't hit. That'll do it for the first. Booker just 1 of 6 from the... Harmon hits the deck. No whistle. Neepkins was left alone and pops it in.
Great job by Neepkins there. Fake. Looked like she might pass the ball up to Lauren Betts. That made the defender take another step off, and then Neepkins had the open look.
Booker, mid-range, no. Oldacre palms it right into the face of Rice. Booker 1 of 7 to start this game. An outlier compared to her usual efficiency. Neepkins off one leg, drops it short. Here's Crump. Ace, great job by Neepkins to cut her off. Crump for 3, won't go. Oldacre the rebound, and then a travel is called on Kyla Oldacre.
We say outstanding defense by Gianna Neepkins on one end of the...
During the 12-game winning streak, Texas trailed for a total of 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Tonight, they have already trailed for almost 10 spot. Neepkins turns the corner, gets denied by Crump. Booker creeping up the floor, the hesitation. Couldn't pizza pie it in. Madison Booker hit her first shot. She has missed her last 7 now. Rice in trouble. And a jump.
And certainly over the course of 4 quarters, that's going to benefit Texas. Why? Well, they have a much deeper bench than UCLA does. If fouls start to get called, put any players into foul trouble. And that's just the way Texas plays on the defensive end of the floor with a lot of physicality. But certainly
anything you're seeing from that physicality that perhaps could be called, should be called, that hasn't been thus far. As Booker misses again.
I have not seen anything. I mean, there have been calls that could go either way. I mean, both teams are playing very physically on the perimeter. I think the officials are being consistent at this point. And to Rebecca's point, it could change.
All right, thank you, Dee. Knocked out of bounds by Oldacre. Harmon, Booker, Judd, Oldacre, and Crump with 5 for Texas. Lee has been on the bench for an extended period of time for the Longhorns. Here's Judd. Off to Harmon. Bounces Oldacre. Great set.
beautifully executed.
Harmon off the bench. UCLA 1 of 7 from the floor off the dribble. 6 of 9 on passes. And Crump and Judd all over Neepkins. Force the turnover. Harmon like a blur. Oldacre gives it back. Harmon mid-range. Sure.
Harmon able to get to hers. She's 3 for 3 now from the floor.
She scored 26 in the first meeting between these teams. Third most she's had in a game in her career. Betts twisting, taking, and hitting.
Lauren Betts pushed off the block so far.
The rest of Texas 3 of 19, while Harmon is 3 for 3. Harmon working behind Oldacre. Booker has been ineffective, 1 of 9 thus far. Twisting, that is short. Judd the rebound. Had Harmon, now it's Crump. She got it.
To get an open look for your three-point shooter is when everyone is collapsed in off of the offensive rebound.
Crump, the number 5 recruitment nation this past year. Ledger Walker just stays in. The pull-up jumper, no. Here comes Booker. Booker, the crossover. The pull, the miss. Now 1 of 11 from the floor. Vic Schaefer always honored to keep hunting shots as Crump.
Out to Crump for the wide open 3.
If you're Vic Schaefer, do you want Booker to keep shooting? I mean, you'd think there'd be a regression to the mean at some point, but she has missed 10 straight.
Maybe you make her more of a facilitator and then hope she regroups come the third quarter, but you certainly don't want to discourage her looking for her shots.
Wow. Oh my goodness, all kinds of contact and no whistle. Corey Close apoplectic as Harmon can't hit. Here's Sienna Betts. Jaquez, center of the lane, gets the roll. Gabriela Jaquez, the younger sister of Jaime Jaquez of the Miami Heat. Second team all Big Footer. Harmon gives it up. Crump bounces in. Oldacre, 5 to shoot. Whips it up, then off. Rice the rebound. Here comes Kiki Rice. Kicking, Ledger Walker will pull. Short. Harmon with a crossover, the mid-range. Missed it. Texas shooting 25% from the floor in this first half.
Keep your eye on Gabriela Jaquez and the way she's running the floor every single possession.
Harmon picks the pocket. Rory Harmon lays it in.
Every single time down the floor.
Harmon, the program's all-time leader in steals and assists. Ledger Walker having trouble with her again. Here's Dugalich. Rice looking to take Judd, wiggles it back. Yet to score in this first half. Rice on the drive, missed the layup. Rebound Booker, out and running. Booker trying to get to the cup and a foul call around on set so far tonight. They've done a wonderful job all season long. Looking forward to hearing from the ladies at the half as Texas turns it over.
See some of Jaquez's versatility as she brings the ball down the floor.
Neefkins misfires, Cunningham the rebound. Booker slides in, fades, still can't hit. It's been that kind of half for Booker now, 1 of 12. Poke from behind and a foul is going to go against Texas. It'll be Madison Booker, that is her first.
And we saw Jaquez run the floor again aggressively, and what I was talking about before, that's the player that Madison Booker is.
Lead on Texas. Dugalich takes the 3. Rice backs it away. Neefkins won't take it. Lobbing it in. Betts surrounded. Gets it out. Jaquez. No. Rebound hits the floor. Lands in the lap of Carlton. A different rotation in general for Vic Schaefer in this first half.
Just trying to find something that will work on the offensive end.
Preston. 6 to shoot. Spinning, left alone, will take, can't hit. Rebound Dugalich.
Again, one-on-one late in the shot.
Vic Schaefer telling his team they have a foul to give. 5-second difference game in shot clock. Rice. And that's going to be an offensive foul on the hook.
Straight up in the air so the officials can see it.
The jacket came off early tonight for Vic Schaefer. Preston, 3 seconds, kicks, Crump! No. And that'll do it for the first half. A struggle to score for both teams in a grinded-out opening over the last month. But UCLA starts the second half with the lead. Here's Ledger Walker. UCLA has won 29 straight and an early foul there on Cunningham. Cunningham and Kyle Oldacre quickly in off the bench.
Yeah, the bigs for Texas trying to prevent Lauren Betts from getting decent position in the paint because she can be automatic when she does.
Rice giving it up. Neefkins picking it out. Ledger Walker. No. He got a hand on it. Rice controls it. Rice able to bank it in.
That was a great take by Kiki Rice so that she would have the lane to the basket.
First points of the game for Kiki Rice. Booker on the drive. Net by Betts. Elevates. No. Oldacre, the putback. She's fouled. Oldacre will go to the line.
When Betts is contesting Booker, that means Betts is not boxing out the big, and as a result, Oldacre able to get the O board.
Send things over to Holly Rowe.
Well, Kyla Oldacre has had a challenge in her career. In 2022, she was rushed to the ER with a problem that later required surgery and removal of 9 benign tumors in her abdomen. She was hospitalized for 2 weeks. Deter her in any way. She says, I'm a bull out there. I'm just not a bulldozer. Try to be a bull, not a bulldozer, but she has been a resilient young woman.
And there is a difference. Both free throws there. Neebkins backing down, can't hit.
It's okay to be a bull on a basketball court. You just can't be one in a China shop.
That's right. 8 minutes in the first half. In there to start the second is Oldacre off a great delivery from Harmon. Lays it in.
Texas has gotten good at that in terms of getting some dribble penetration and just throwing the ball up for your big to go get it when you draw defense off of that penetration.
Jaquez, the runner, is short. Oldacre contested it. Here comes Lee, directing traffic. Has it knocked away and taken by Rice. Kiki Rice then loses it out of bounds. Last hit Lee. Hey, for the 6th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For his team will be there. Will they face UCLA or Texas? South Carolina will be going for a 4th national championship. Jaquez twisting away. Can't get it to drop. Not going to bounce by Oldacre. It'll be
running down the sideline.
So Texas will appeal. They're 1 for 1 already tonight. 10 of 11 on the season.
After review, UCLA number 51 touches the ball last. Therefore, the call on the floor is overturned. It will be Texas basketball with a new 30-second shot clock.
Address some defensive changes they need to make to the ball screens. But then she talked about their offense. Please, please, please. Entry passes. Why aren't we trying to use our entry passes and run our offense? The very first play of the game, great entry pass, great look, running our offense. She needs
down. Thank you, Hal. Meanwhile, Madison Booker's missed a career-high 12 straight field goal attempts. And Warren Betts has held Texas 2 of 10 from the floor when contesting. That's the first ever Big Ten Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. Booker guarded by Betts. Here's Lee on the cut. Booker a wide open attempt. That one misses badly as well. Whoa, look out! Oh my goodness.
Guys, just something to bring to your attention. Madison Booker off to a poor shooting night, but I have noticed they've got a wrap below that right knee. Don't see her moving like she normally does.
The ruling on the floor is a personal foul on Texas number 35. The play is under review to see if the criteria for a flagrant foul has been met. After review, the foul on Texas number 35 is confirmed. There was no excessive or unnecessary contact. It will be UCLA basketball, a spot throw-in on the end line with a new 30-second shot clock.
22-19, UCLA in front of Texas. Been a slog of a start to the third quarter with several reviews, whistles. But a tight game and a trip to the national championship game on the line.
This pressure, hard to deny, 6-7.
Jaquez off to Dugalich. Dugalich elevates, can't bank it in. Jaquez, where'd she come from?
She is just foot to glass.
Harmon got bumped by Rice. As Crump, the freshman, checks into the game, and Lee goes to the bench. Sometimes those two will play together as well, give Texas their best spacing and their best shooting lineup. Crump stepped out of bounds as Texas turns it over. All time to enter the Final Four, having won their first 4 games by at least 20 points. South Carolina, another one of those teams. The Gamecocks already through to the national championship game Sunday on ABC. Handoff, hounded by Harmon. Dugalich takes the 3. Bobs it in, Betts, deep catch, easy finish.
Really nice job on ball. So hard to stop her, Ryan, when she gets that kind of post position.
Carlton finds the lane. Oldacre pumps it in.
And that's where Texas is.
Oldacre with 8 points. Betts to the corner. Jaquez redirects. Betts on the entry. Double comes and Carlton just took it away. They call the held ball.
We don't have 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, or anything like that, but it's firmly held by definition.
So that was the official definition of firmly held. Harmon elevates. Doesn't get the roll. Bets the box out.
Ball they will cut around her. Sometimes it's in the post. Sometimes it's been more in the high post area.
Neepkins looking in. Jaquez, 7 to shoot. Trying to create. Jaquez, nice little twirl. It's astonishing to look at the box score and see Madison Booker 1 of 15. Jaquez. And that's going to be a foul. I mean, look what she did the first 4 games of the tournament, 59%. And if you extend it further, as Neepkins and it to 3. When you look at her during the 12-game winning streak, she's shooting 60%. But 1 of 15 today for the 3-time All-American. Rice finds Betts for the easy lay.
For an extra B and rolls hard to the basket.
First time in 9 minutes that either team is led by more than 5. Booker, the mid-range, still can't hit. Knocked away by Judd. Oldacre then leads 12 straight wins. They won by an hour. Save it, and a foul there on the push. Here's Crump. Off to Booker. Booker, 5 to shoot. Gonna have to create again. Into the corner. Harmon a 3. Way off. Oldacre catches, but the shot clock expires. And Jordan Lee, again, a spectator. I know she struggled shooting last game, 0 for 3 this game. She's been a huge part of their team and their offense. Not getting a lot of minutes so far in this semifinal.
Texas's defense will always keep them in games, but what's made them special the last 2 months?
To the steal. Rebecca, how about the way UCLA has been ready for the physical challenge of Texas?
Oh, certainly. Corey, of course, has to be thrilled with that from her team. Coming in, we have to...
But Corey Close did something that she doesn't usually do. She tried to get her team mad. She showed them a cut-up of just how physical the game was. Texas versus Michigan, all the things that she thought were fouls, and said, they're going to be out here battering us. They're not going to call it. She tried to really put a big chip on their shoulders and make them mad before this game here tonight. So they'd fight through this physicality.
We're getting a breather here for Texas. So Lee and Crump on the floor together. Jaquez, and that's going to be a block on Lee. 14th foul against Texas.
The way Jaquez always consistently spring.
These are the first minutes on the bench in this game for Booker. Rice backing away. Around the bench screen. Knocked away by Harmon. Loose ball, 1 to shoot. Googly cheese. That'll be a violation.
Well, no, she's been the one player who's been able to get to her spots and been able to score.
She is 4 for 8. The rest of the Longhorns are 6 for 33. Crump trying to turn the corner. Out to Lee. Lee on the drive. Lee twists inside. Still can't hit. She had started the tournament 15-plus points each of the first 3 games.
Here, using Lauren Betts again, kind of as the pivot point. Get her the basketball and cut around her. We've seen that quite a bit today from UCLA.
That's already a double-double, 10 points, 10 boards. Crump with the foul, and now UCLA will go to the line.
There's the Final Four, but this year, 2 games into the season, Coach came up to her before each game and said, listen, I'm not going to start you this game, and here's why. You know, she said, I just couldn't bear it if Coach had to go through this entire season navigating our feelings and telling one of us we had to sit on the bench or the other one was going to start. She said, I just went to Coach and said, I'll come off the bench. And it's worked out really well for UCLA. She's been one of their most impactful players here in the NCAA tournament. And actually,
she was pivotal to their Elite 8 win against Duke in that 4th quarter. Carlton around the contact, then lays it in. Dick Schaefer reminds us over and over again that Bridget Carlton was the most physical high school player he had ever recruited. Draft earlier today, the expansion draft, the first pick of it. Here's Betts. That's the little hook, rims off. Loose ball, Cunningham has it. It's in. Flips it up and off, gets it back. And that time gets the whistle and the bucket. Just as Carlton insisting her way for 2.
Players are out, they celebrate just as eagerly for their teammates on the floor.
Carlton completes the three-point play. She has the last 5 for Texas. Three-point game and a 5-second violation. The 31st that Texas has forced this season. 7%. Rice having trouble getting it in. And now it's going to be an offensive foul as Harmon sold the contact, but now it looks like she's in some pain.
Number 5 from UCLA, Charlie Slint.
Harmon appears okay. Now Harmon has to get it in. Finds Carlton. Carlton is getting it done in the third quarter of this Final Four matchup. Dugalich going for the home run. And a foul on Crump. And Vic Schaefer upset. D, anything definitive for you there?
They get tied up, but at the end she gets tripped, and that is why the foul was called. And she trips her up with the contact. I would call it the same way, to be quite honest with you. Vic would be just as mad at me.
Have you experienced that before?
I have many times.
Both free throws good for Jaquez. That ends.
Go back to her. She has been absolutely what is working for Texas here in the third.
Just Booker on the bench, right back to her. Carlton draws 2, fades. Can't hit that time, and now UCLA can hold for a final shot. Corey Close telling history. Ooh, she went up and down and traveled, making her move a little too early. And now Texas will have the final possession of the third. 5 seconds left. Harmon with 2. Harmon the leaner. No. And that'll do it for the third.
In this game, she's certainly been impactful, making things difficult for Ledger Walker and any ball handler for UCLA.
And you could hear the frustration in Corey Close's voice in an interview with Holly about the way the game has been officiated and the contact that has been allowed from both teams throughout. Dugalich, wow, rocket off the backboard. Betts turns it in.
And they were trying to use Lauren Betts as a screener, get her into the block, and clearly an emphasis on getting Betts the basketball.
Oldacre into the game for Cunningham, who has been the only person in the building in foul trouble tonight with the contact that has been let go. And Betts hits the free throw. And Lauren Betts said she 10 times afterwards wanted to sear it in her mind, the pain, the anguish, the lack of performance from UCLA as they got blown out in that game by Connecticut en route to the Huskies' eventual 12th title. UCLA has stepped up to the challenge, and Betts especially as battling through the Texas physicality. Booker still on the bench for Texas. There's Harmon, mid-range, no. That's what Corey Close wants. She wants Harmon taking it more 16, 17 feet rather than 10 to 12. Pick ball from Lee. Now, I know she's one of 16, but how
good in season, the games this season with Willie Harmon, where a different player is performing better, and so he leaves one of his starters on the bench. But I can't imagine that Madison Booker will not return here in the fourth quarter. Maybe give her another minute to continue to collect herself and then get her back in the game.
Ledger Walker lobbing, Betts catching, waiting, tossing, Rice hitting on a 3.
Oh, was not called in the post, but then certainly ends up being an advantage on the 3 from Rice.
UCLA with an 8-point lead. Lee trying to make it happen. Carlton lost it. Ledger Walker has it. Jaquez ahead of the field, lays it in. It's a double-digit lead for the Bruins. On in that last Texas huddle.
Well, there's obviously frustration. Vic Schaefer saying to his team, we haven't played like this for 2 months. What's going on? We are showing no patience. Nobody's getting downhill, getting to your spots. They're forcing us to play our field goal percentage difference if they just push them out 2 additional feet, and that's what UCLA is doing.
Great stuff, Al. Here's Crump. Crump mid-range is good. Big bucket there from the freshman. Vic Schaefer's talked about, Rebecca, how they've continued to play with an edge throughout this streak as Rice gets fouled by Lee. Of the rhythm they've been playing with, and now Texas has not had it on the floor today either against UCLA.
Yeah, he said that yesterday in their practice. He said, we haven't kind of had this lack of focus in 7 weeks since that Vanderbilt game that Holly documented earlier.
Lee picks up the foul, or second. Kiki Rice, another one of the UCLA seniors. You're going to see plenty of them on draft night. Several players expected to go in the first couple rounds. And Rice hits both free throws.
And one of the reasons that UCLA has been able to extend and force Texas to catch out farther than they want is they have the luxury of 6'7" shot blocker behind them, so they know.
Trump on the floor together, and Booker back in. Lee bounces out, and it's taken by Neepkins. Ledger Walker into Jaquez. Deflected into the arms of Lee. 7:25. This feels like if Texas is going to come back, Booker will have to hit some shots. Booker, mid-range. Again, Betts affecting it. Harmon storms in. Can't drop it home. Rebound hugged by Ledger Walker.
And while Texas has gone to a smaller lineup to try to get better spacing and more scoring,
Lee has not scored, and Booker has just 2 points. Ledger Walker on the drive. Try to hook a pass inside, out of bounds with 3.4 on the shot. One of the things Corey Close has emphasized to us over the years is Lauren Betts' ability to switch out onto smaller perimeter players. Certainly going to be a critical part of her skill set when you consider her.
The ruling on the floor is UCLA basketball. The play is being appealed by Texas.
looks like it just goes off the fingertips of Ledger Walker, doesn't it?
And if it...
After review, the ball clearly and conclusively touches number 5 for UCLA last. It will be Texas ball on the end line with a new 30-second shot clock. The appeal being successful, they will not be charged for a timeout.
All right, so Texas 3 for 3 on Gabriela Jaquez, the 5 for UCLA. Oldacre lead from Booker and Harmon for Texas. There's 2 points combined between Lee and Booker thus far. Here is Lee, trying to go backdoor to Booker, miscommunication in the pass out of bounds.
Lee thought because Booker's hand was out that she was going to come out to receive the pass instead of curling and going backdoor.
UCLA has been able to survive their 19 turnovers as Crump slaps it out of bounds. Vic Schaefer, the only coach who took Texas last year and this year. Lob it in, Betts, deep catch, and the finish. UCLA with their largest lead of the night.
We've seen that in their last game against Duke. The direct entry right into Lauren Betts over the defender's hands.
Booker spinning, forcing, no. Oldacre. I mean, Rebecca, if you're Texas, just the idea of scoring 12 points in the final 5:50 has to feel daunting.
I mean, it's incredible.
Booker finally gets one to drop after missing 17 straight, and Crump knocks that out of bounds.
UCLA, a huge key is going to be for them to continue to handle this pressure. You do not want live ball turnovers against this Texas team.
That's what sparks their offense. They've had 19 of the turnovers in this game, but Texas just 10 points off of them. Jaquez goes baseline, tried to force it in. Oldacre, the steal, quickly gets it off to her. Didn't get to her quick enough to fire for 3. Lee nearly loses it. Here's Booker, backing away. Booker, again, short.
Again.
Ugalich looking in, gets the catch. Booker shading, Neepkins. You bet! Backdoor Lee finally on the board here in the final four.
The time the right side of the floor cleared out so Lee could go make the
The reputation that these rims have been gaining tonight. Season high 21 turnovers for UCLA. Lee, they need it. They've got it. On a three. 8-point game. And that's going to be an offensive foul. Straight. 22 turnovers for the Bruins. Booker, this time on the move, gets denied by Dugalich. And it is going to be UCLA basketball. No, they'll say it remains with.
But you knew that there was something brewing. It wasn't just Lauren Betts who was doing the twirly finger. All 5 UCLA players looked at Corey Close.
National championship game will be Sunday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Gamecocks await the winner of this one. Betts kicks it out, right back. Betts looking cross court. Gonna try and take it herself. Betts gets it to go. What a tough bucket for the All-American.
Her poise to get the basketball.
Lead back to double digits. Under 3 minutes to go. Booker 2 for 21. Lee leaning. Doesn't get the roll. Oldacre gets fouled. And Kyla Oldacre is going to shoot 2. This in 70 blocks in a season. And having a big game tonight. Booker off the miss. Out to Lee. Lee on the drive. And it's a jump ball. Possession arrow. Stays with Texas. Gianna Neefkins will come. He says right call. Booker wheeling back. Booker gets that one to fall. 7-point game, still a lot of time left. 2:20 to go. And that is going to be timeout taken by Corey Close again.
Consistently, and she just has not been able to do that to this point.
2:18 to go in the fourth. Jaquez gets it in. Rice racing up the floor. Guarded by Harmon. Fifth-year senior. Now Dugalich. Leaning. Doesn't get the roll. What a rebound from Oldacre. Oldacre. Looking to take it in on Betts. Oldacre makes it a 5-point game. Things getting interesting here in the desert. Jaquez having trouble getting it in. Finally into Betts. 5-point game. A trip to the championship game on the line. Rice. 13 on the shot clock. Rice guarded by Harmon, and Harmon takes it away. Here comes Harmon. Lee into the paint. Twisting and banking. It's a one-possession game. Texas has come alive. And UCLA will take another timeout. Shot clock at 8. Dugalich with it at 7. Dugalich can't hit. Rebound Booker. Texas has it down 3. Ledger Walker looking for Neefkins. Bounces in Rice. Rice not fouled yet. Now is by Charlize looking in. Doesn't have a timeout. Does have Kiki Rice. She is fouled. And hits the first. Rice got them both. 5-point game, and now Vic Schaefer will